Good morning, everyone. We're going to wait a few seconds here for people to hop on. Um, Hopefully, we can get some viewers today. Hope you're having an amazing day. Angela Blaha here, and this is your weekly Ascension how-tos. So I am created a list and am working through the question that I had asked in the group about what it is that you want to learn. And so today we are tackling grounding and intuitive abilities. So how to ground, and which was asked by Therese Thompson. And then how to connect with spirits and to do readings. And then the most important thing, and then how to talk to spirits. So, and those were asked by Jen Chambers and Maggie Howard and Robin Obara. So, thank you, Velia, for joining. How are you today? Congratulations, by the way. Velia is now a counselor. Official, official, official. Congratulations. All that studying paid off. Okay. Grounding. Now, how to ground to your full potential. I'm going to ask if grounding has anything to do with your full potential. That's really the first question that's coming up from your soul self, actually. And it totally depends, grounding totally depends upon your belief systems. So there are multiple ways to ground, right? And if traditionally you've been taught to ground into the earth, to grow roots into the earth and to feel very connected with the earth, and that works for you, I say go for it. But if you're like me, that never ever works, because as an empath, I felt the energy of the earth and all of its trauma. So I always was very uncomfortable grounding into the earth, and I could never really get the visualization down. I felt all the pain and suffering that the earth has gone through when I would ground into the earth. And so several years ago, when I was in Crestone, Colorado, and I was channeling goddess Lakshmi, which is a part of goddess Shakti, I asked for, a different way, something that would work for me, because when I channeled, I was very euphoria kind of energy, and it would last for days sometimes. And so I really needed to sort of pull everything back in, but I couldn't ground into the earth. It never worked. So Lakshmi asked me, well, what do I believe? Literally, what do I believe? And I said that I believe that I am all that is. And that was literally the answer that came forth. And she said, well, then if you truly believe that you are all that is, why would you need to ground into the earth? And I was like, ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Why do I need to ground into the earth? And what she told me was just pull your energy into who you are, so that you feel comfortable in who you are, that you feel safe, that you feel like extreme power and extreme love in who you are, versus grounding into something outside of you, because that's a separation issue, right? And I don't believe that I'm separate. I believe that I'm whole and in a sort of oneness with everything. I believe that I am all that is. So every single time that I do a meditation or anything, I tell you to literally pull your energy in. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how I do it. So I take a nice deep breath in, and I literally take my energy field and I pull it in. I pull it into my core, to where I feel safe, to where I can visualize I am all that is there, right? There's no separation between me and everything in that space. And then I take another nice deep breath in, again, pull my energy in to where I feel safe, alive, loved, whole, and where I thrive. From this place inside of me, everything exists. infinite possibilities. Connection with my soul self, with source consciousness, with the consciousness of consciousness, if that makes any sense. But there's a safety, there's a deep existence when I pull my energy into who I am. From here, like my ability to connect with spirits, my ability to connect with the mothers, my ability to connect with source, creator, God, whatever words you want to use, like is like there's no separation, there's no parameter, there's no veil, there's just everything. So give that a go. I know it's a different way of grounding into grounding, just plain grounding, but for me it works. What you want to feel when you're grounded, or what you want to experience when you're grounded, is that deep sense of safety. So wherever you feel safe in your energy, whether it's grounding into the earth or grounding into the cosmic beings or grounding into whatever it is, you have to feel safe in that space. That's all that grounding does for you. It makes you feel and know that you are safe. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. Oh, you're welcome, Corey. All right. If you have questions, ask them in the box, though. We're moving on to spirits. How do I connect with spirits and do readings? And how do I connect with spirit? How do I strengthen my psychic abilities? Right? Like these are the dying questions that we want to know. So, all right. So the most important thing to understand is, how do you work as an energy being? Right? If you want to connect with spirits, with other beings that you can channel, with your soul self, with whatever it is, right? You have to know how you work. Like without that, you have nothing. You're just floundering around and putting yourself at risk to manipulate your own vibration. That's the important thing here, right? Like, I don't want to create any fear within you whatsoever. Because if you know yourself inside and out, you know how you operate as an energy being, you have no fear. You can channel anything. You could connect with any kind of a spirit, whether it be a high vibration or a low vibration. It really doesn't matter. That's not the important thing. The important thing is that you know who you are. So, know your clairs. I cannot express this deep enough or well enough that you know your clairs. Because if you know your clairs, you know how you operate. So, do you see? That's clairvoyance. Can you close your eyes and see through your third eye? What happens with clairvoyance is your third eye and your physical eyes become one. If you can know yourself so well and you can change your vibration and your belief systems and your emotions and your thoughts so that you can see with all of your eyes, your third eye and your physical eyes, whether your physical eyes are closed or open, doesn't matter. Because the point is that you operate as one being. So, can you see? Can you hear? That's clairaudient. Can you hear? Doesn't matter if you can hear physically or etherically, you become one with your energy field. Because if you're trying to hear with your physical ears, but you can hear etherically, you're in a separation energy. You're trying to separate your physical ears with your etheric ears, and you're operating in a separation kind of modality. It doesn't work that way. You have to become one. You have to become whole in that energy field. Can you feel? Can you emotionally feel? That's clairsentience. Now, you have to know and understand your emotions when you can feel. Because if you don't know and understand your emotions, you're again operating in a field of separation. Because if you can feel someone touch your skin, you can feel an energy being touch your skin. That's clairsentience. Keep in mind, your emotions will come into play. Fear will either come in or, oh, I wonder who that is, will come in. Then you can expand and explore all the other options. Can you smell? Clairsense is your clair of smelling. This was probably my very first ability was to smell. I could sit in my living room watching TV, and all of a sudden you'd smell smoke, or you smell the cologne of someone or the perfume of someone. You know that someone's there, right? Then you can move into something else, seeing them or hearing them. Do you have the ability to know? That's claircognizance. Like just instant knowings happen when you have a very strong ability of claircognizance, right? Like you just know stuff. When I was 14 years old, I just knew stuff. Had no idea where it came from, but I just knew. That's claircognizance. Mediumship. Can you see, hear, understand past loved ones? The ability to see, understand, hear, and know someone who is beyond the physical form. Now, keep in mind, there are no veils. That's a memory issue of remembering who you are. There are really no veils. Once you move into understanding who you are, you know that there's not a veil. There are none whatsoever. Those are fear factors, keeping us afraid that we can actually see, hear, know, feel, touch, commune with anything and everything. That's a fear factor. All right, channeling is the ability to allow another being to use your body as a mechanism or a vessel for communication. All that is a decision. There's no skills with that. It's just you say, yeah, I'm going to allow my body to do this kind of thing. Keep in mind, again, fear will either come into play, your belief systems, your emotions, or your thoughts. I consider myself to be an embodied channel, which means that I have become one in a sense of wholeness with the energies that I channel. And it's not, I channel what I call the mothers or the grandmothers, and it's a consciousness. It's an entire consciousness. It's not just a being. When I first started channeling, I channeled a being. Actually, it was two beings. And they were teaching me how to hear, see, understand, know, and communicate with other beings, and how to recognize the vibrations of their energy. That's one super important thing. That's why it's so important to know your clairs. Can you trust your clairs? Can you trust your ability to channel? Can you trust your ability to astral project? Can you trust your ability to bilocate? Telepathic communication. Can you trust your abilities? You see, all of these abilities, these psychic and intuitive abilities, are super fun to play around with, but can you trust yourself? Can you trust who you are, because you know yourself so well that you have no doubt or fear about who you are? You see, when you have that, you can channel, you can be around any kind of a vibration, whether it's a low frequency vibration or a high frequency vibration. You know and understand what they are. That's the key, is that you trust and know yourself so well that you have no doubt about what you're doing. How to strengthen your psychic abilities is practice. Honest to God, that's the only way to strengthen them. Ground into who you are, Know and trust yourself so well, and then practice. In the beginning, when I started like really moving into my the power of who I am, I would write. I started with journaling, with literally writing, and I would just write out whatever came. And I would connect only to my soul self in the beginning because I could trust that. I knew the vibration when I was truly, truly connected. I knew the vibration. I felt so at peace that that the world could crumble around me, and I knew that I was still safe. Like, you want to get to that point within your energy field where you have zero doubt and you feel safe no matter what. So in the beginning, I just wrote, and I channeled messages for myself and for other people, but I didn't actually give them to other people because I didn't quite trust myself yet, right? And because it wasn't trust of the message, it was trust of them receiving the message. It was trust of me being able to communicate the message so that it could actually help them. You see how that's a big issue. Well, it was for me anyway. Because I had past life memory that said, no, can't do that yet. Right? So then I started speaking a little bit, and what I did was I used a voice recorder and I would speak the message, and then I would listen to it. And then I would say, okay, I can't use that word because it doesn't feel correct in the message. Do you see how that like has its own power? Like, that's where the power comes from, in the message, but you have to communicate it so that it empowers someone versus giving them fear. Because there's enough fear in the world, believe me, there's enough fear. So then after that, I started doing expos, like psychic expos, because I gained confidence in how I presented the message. I did some drawing. There was a period of time where I would draw like they were faces. They were faces, and it would draw, like for me, it would draw how they would respond to the message, how they were feeling in the beginning, and then there was a course of different faces of how they would change and transform. That was for me, but I would do it during the reading, and sometimes the people would ask for the drawing, which was kind of cool because it gave them like, here's where you were and here's how you transformed. It was a mental, for some of them who got back to me and said, God, I can't believe how this helped me. It was a way of steps of how they could take to make transformation happen later. So there's all kinds of avenues. There's all kinds of things that come in. The point is, don't have any fear about what the message is, but be sure that you're communicating it accurately, because that's where the power lies. That's where the power lies, in your psychic and intuitive abilities. Okay. Oh, after expos, then I started teaching, and now it's just all the time. The important thing about that is I don't disconnect from my soul self ever. Mm-mm. Because what happens when I disconnect from my soul self is the loneliness appears. The doubt comes in. The sense of, why am I here? What's my purpose? Comes in when I would disconnect, which was, I think, the push to become an embodied channel. Not that I have constant communication. That's like, I don't have a mind filled with stuff. Let's put it that way. Because I have I know myself so well that when my mind gets full of stuff, like I'm not clear about who I am and why I'm here. And it's a clear indication for me that I am disconnected. I'm disconnected at that point. So, um, so I never unconnect any longer. Like I'm constantly connected, and I am constantly connected to the mothers because it helps me to feel safe. And when I need information, it's at my fingertips versus, oh, now I have to connect. And then, going through this kind of ritual thing, which I used to do, which was very cumbersome for me. But you get to decide what works for you, right? Like that's the whole point. I'm just giving you options here. Hey, Corio, so glad that these are on your mind. You're very welcome. Every clair that you have mentioned so far, I have experienced. Candace, yes. So now you get to decide how you're going to use them or if you're going to use them, right? Like just use them for your own personal use. You don't have to use them for the world, right? But when the clairs, when you know and understand the clairs, like how you operate, your ability to connect and be connected and stay and hold the connection to your soul self becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Belia, do I do individual and group coaching for these? Yes, I do. All the time. Yeah, so if you want to, learn how to do it or get a deeper connection or, you just need the clarity of it so that you can erase the doubt and you can learn to trust yourself. Like I can help you understand the belief systems that are standing in the way, those things that are blocking you. So yes, thank you for asking. Seems like there's a lot going on in our earth. Really knowing would be amazing. Yeah, because you know what to trust, right? Like there's some highs and lows happening in the earth right now, and especially if you're living in the United States, there are things that bring up fear all the time. There's always drama in our world. What happens when you're soulfully connected and you trust who you are? Like you see the truth about what's really happening, and you don't have any fear. Like I don't have any fear about what's happening in the world because I can see and understand and know what the truth is. It takes a whole different perspective. Candace, is there any particular technique that you suggest to help strengthen one's gifts? Practice. There's not really any technique other than to know and trust who you are. Once you get beyond the trust factor of trusting the information that comes in, here's what happens. Some of the information that comes in is so unlike what we've been taught that we have a tendency to not trust it. That's where the issue lies. It's not that you need to have a technique to know and understand and strengthen your abilities. They're already strong. What's lying in the way are your belief systems or your thought forms or your emotions. Those are the things that create blocks in our energy field. Those are the things that create doubt. Those are the things that create unclarity. Those are the things that create mistrust. They create mistrust within you. They create that inner turmoil, that inner fight, that struggle that happens within you. It's not a technique. You already have it. You already have those abilities. All right, curious, did your past life vision come to you as if you were seeing through someone else's eyes? No. That is, okay, hold on. Yes and no. No, because I am always in my body. I never give up my body for anything. Even when I channeled as allowing someone to come into my body and use it as a vessel, I was still present. I was still present because if I were misreading anything, their vibration, or they were bringing in a message that was hidden from me, I was still present, and if I wanted to, I could kick that energy out. If I was not present in my body, then I would not have that ability to do that, and I would be channeling something that wasn't in alignment with who I am. But yes, you can have a past life vision that comes in and it looks like you're looking through someone else's eyes. That's generally what that is one of your past lives. And it's now, what's happening is you are now embodying that part of your soul self, an aspect of you, and they want to see what the world looks like. It's kind of how that works. So yes and no. Okay, Holly, what do you do to reconnect with yourself? I'm never disconnected. So what do I do to connect in the beginning was I pulled my energy in and I felt safe and comfortable and alive, right? That's the most important thing. Then from there is I asked for a clear connection to my soul self, to the part of me that knows the truth about who I am, why I'm here, the truth of humanity, the truth of this galaxy, the truth of this universe. And what I recognized was that I had to literally connect with the energy that was beyond this experience, this 3D experience of separation. Because everything about me inside that was very confusing, and there were still components of separation. Again, if you want to know how to reconnect with your soul self, this is what we do in soulcations, right? Like a soulcation is like how you connect so deeply with who you are that it almost overwhelms you, literally. So that's an important piece. And if you need help with that, again, I can do private sessions, or better yet, come to a soulcation, because I dive deep, deep, deep into those, and those are 2 and 3 days. So, Tyler, I have to go. Hope to watch more later. Awesome. I tend to absorb people's moods. Stop doing that. You just tell your energy, again, pull your energy in, Tyler, and when you are, especially if you're going out into public or any place else, pull your energy in. And then when you watch yourself, like become the witness. There's several videos in here about becoming the witness. Cheryl, so you intend to hold the connection to your soul self over and over, and this became habitual. Yes. Actually, I demanded it. I didn't ask for it, I demanded it. I demanded myself, my energy field, my understanding of who I am to be connected continuously, never to disconnect. It was a demand. It wasn't an ask. How you became an embodied channel, yeah, again, I just demanded it. I actually connected to that's again, knowing yourself so well that you know what your purpose is here, literally. Because when I became an embodied channel, like I connect with the mothers and the grandmothers, their sole purpose as a consciousness is to get people to understand their soul self. To have them remember who they are so that they can literally bring the truth to their life. So that's, yeah. Yeah, soulcations, they are freaking amazing. Super cool. Okay, all you beautiful, amazing gods and goddesses out there, I hope that this helps. If you have further questions, please ask them and I will get to them. I love you dearly.